Story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in the prison.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. Often nowadays.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Ready, ready! 10-2 stop. We own it.
On first down, Abraham. That'll be caught by Rice. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Abraham, and that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will be taken at the 13. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him. And what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On third down, Pitts, and he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Look at me. Go. Ready, go.
Now a give, right side. Pitts. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Hard. Deep grip.
Looking to throw. Able to find Turner. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Well, that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the third down conversion.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Tight end.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Rock it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Kill, kill, kill.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. Second and 1. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From a yard out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, break.
All day, baby, all day. Slam, slam, slam.
Steve Griffin.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on 3rd down. Abraham, he'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds. At the 16-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now a give right side. Pitts. And some space here. He's got the lane, and there he goes. 30. A solid stiff arm. A big play that time for Cleveland. 83 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, how to plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
They come up in an offset eye. So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to first and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 4 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
The point after is good, and that makes the score 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Burris. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, They really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
On third down, Abraham. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And he's got it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road. Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive. And the defense now needs to reciprocate. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game. And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one. Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark? It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done. Look to throw here. That's complete to Turner. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 21 yards. They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running. Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. Look, squeeze.
Check 3.
Get it.
On first down, Pitts. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them. Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra points safely through. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Looking to throw. Abraham into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Pitts. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Break.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense. Let's go.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Hold in here, Caldwell. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Abraham. And he's got his man on the out route. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll run on 1st down. Pitts. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Ready. 50, plant.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Ready.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That good for 22 and a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
60 or. I got it. They go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's completed to Caldwell. And he's got this down to the 35. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Hey, too soft. You're out. Check. Deep grip.
Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 10 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turn to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want?
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The officials... Says this one counts.
Next to score, Browns 49, Vikings 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. 45 yards. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
Shoot.
On first down, Pitts. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Following the fumble recovery, Abraham. And he's got his man out of the backfield. backfield. That's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards. This is something that we know that they like to do, incorporating him out of the backfield into their passing attack.
And it's not just a check down option either. This is a full part of their offense, and they rely on the fact that they can get the ball in his hands.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down now, Burris. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Looking to throw. Abraham, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood and Newcastle?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Watch that end. Tight end's right.
On third down, Sheldon. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Dances by him. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
10 logo. You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this?
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Feel like